I want to have your attention, everyone. So this last one of the day isn't going to be deep. It's not going to be really heavy. What I'm going to do is get you motivated and help you to direct your anger in a healthy direction. Now, in this group of the people who are physically present here, we are here because we are taking on that responsibility. Right. And if you're watching this, I want you to join us in taking on responsibility. Earlier, Luke asked a question, what would you be willing to fight and die for? I'm not going to ask you to die for anything. I'm sure you all wrote something down on that list. What I want you to do is live for the things on that list. I want you to live it. Live for what you said was important. And Luke went over the various things, organizing, training, activism, lawfare. And someone asked, how do you know which one you should get involved in? You get involved in the one for which your skill set is ideally suited. The people in this room, we already know what that is pretty much. If you're watching this, talk to me. I'll help you figure out where you fit in. And then, as Luke mentioned, you start locally. And if you're skilled enough, you will get attention and you will go up and you'll end up having a wider sphere of responsibility. You see that is a Minuteman there up on that rock. This is an ordinary man with his own gun that he provided in his own uniform, ready at a moment's notice to deal with a local problem that was beyond the scope of what his government could deal with. This is what we're asking you to be. Not necessarily holding a gun, but a Minuteman in this 5th generation war that we described earlier. And if you do that, we're going to make you a promise. 2 promises. Here's the first one. Our promise is you will not be abandoned. If you operate according to the principles that we put out there and you follow the ideas that we're putting out there, you're not going to be abandoned. You've all been intentionally demoralized. Let's take a look at that word. Your moral intuition has been taken away from you, and your moral license to act has been denied to you. We will not abandon you to that situation. We will re-give you that moral authorization because you are the least racist, most open, most tolerant, most generous people in all of human history, and all they do is demonize you for that. The government and the institutions that were sworn to protect you that advocate on your behalf to help you make healthy decisions, which the majority of the population needs help with, have abandoned you to a predatory, parasitical, so-called free market in nature. Millions have been lied to, manipulated, tricked, fooled into making terrible life decisions, ruining their lives and the lives of their families. We talked earlier about the millions of victims of this war, the underfathered and the foolish and those who have been tricked, baited into hazard. We're not going to abandon you. Now, you're going to be held accountable for your actions. Not because we hate you, but because we love you. But we will ensure that under the ideas that we propose, there will be an honorable place for all. The solutions that we propose will not leave any of you out. You will all have a place in which you can become productive members of society. That's the first promise. You will not be abandoned. And the second promise, we're going to show you how to get revenge. We have been betrayed, all of us. We've been betrayed by the men, and sometimes women, that we've delegated some of our authority to in government. We do this because it allows us to cooperate. And we have expectations and we have trust in those that we've delegated this authority to. It is our authority that we delegated. But that trust has been betrayed over and over again. The people that have been placed in positions of authority over us, who were sworn to uphold the law and govern us according to our customs, have instead stolen our wealth, corrupted our institutions, imported foreign enemies, created domestic enemies, destroyed our culture, broke our infrastructure, killed our sons in foreign wars, and subverted our daughters and wives with social war, and then lied to us and gaslit us about it the whole time. How do you feel about that? Is anyone here angry about it?
Yes.
If you're watching this on some sort of social media and you're angry about it, comment below. Tell us you're angry. You know what we're going to do? We're going to show you how to get vengeance on these traitors. These are the two promises that we make you. If you follow what we say to do, you're going to be able to have these things. And why? Because it's getting time to stop being nice. I mentioned earlier that we're some of the kindest and most generous people in human history, opening our doors of our nations to other people. And we did that because we thought we were being nice. And that didn't work out. And now it's time to stop being nice. Anger is building across the West, and it's either going to make us stronger or it's going to break us. Anger is a very powerful emotion, and its job is to move us to action. Unfortunately, it's moving millions of young people to kill themselves or take drugs or in some other way numb themselves, something legal in some cases. Now, what we want you to do is be moved to action. The reason that people aren't moved to action is when they don't know what action is going to be successful. We're going to show you, when you're ready to move to action, we're going to show you how to get it done. We're going to show you how to do something with that anger that is productive. We are the people's immune system. If you showed up here, you're an integral part of that immune system. You are a leader. You took the time out of your day, out of your week. You spent money to fly here, some of you from halfway around the world, like myself. And we took the time to come here because we're concerned about this. We're already making sacrifices. We're already fighting. And we want you who are watching this online to join us. You may not be a leader. And if you're not a leader, find somebody to follow. You either need to lead or you need to follow. I talk here, it says for men and for women. I want to send a message to men. It's the message we've been talking about during this conference, that men need to step up and father the underfathered. That means lead. And if you're a young man who needs to be led, go find one of those fathers and listen to him. Women used to be, in our Germanic ancestry, the men would go to war, the women and children would follow along behind and sit off to the side of the battlefield and cheer for their men. And the harder they cheered, the better their men fought. This is what we need you to do, women. We need you to inspire the men, to tell them it's okay to go out and fight, to take some risks, to do what needs to be done, and that you will reward them. And if they don't come back, you'll keep the home fires lit and you'll keep the kids safe and you'll take care of things. Both men and women have an important role to play in saving the West. And if you're not sure what your role is and you want to participate, you need to get in contact with us. Talk to myself, talk to one of the other members, and we're going to help you find a place that is honorable and useful and something to do with your anger. All of us here, we've already been in this. Some of us for years. If you're watching this, you don't need to be frustrated anymore. You don't need to be afraid. What you need to do is start acting. And that's our message for today, is that turn your anger into something productive and act now.